So I guess this is me testing, fixing the lighting because the lighting sucked just now. For some reason, my video likes to cut off the fix on the lighting shortly after it starts recording. I don't know why, but it does that. Hopefully you guys can hear me correctly. For the last, I don't want to know, don't even know if I want to say, I think it's been kind of obvious though. For about, I want to say the last 2-3 weeks, maybe month and a half, I've been having issues with audio and video syncing, and it had nothing to do with me using my blue snowball perverted name microphone. I can't think of the name of, I think it's called snowball microphone, and I haven't been using that. I've just been strictly using the webcam, thinking that would eliminate the issue, and it didn't. It was even worse. And last week it just kind of like festered up to a point, and it all over the place, kind of like that really nasty dirty pimple that you don't want to pop, but it's there and everybody knows it because it's like, hey, I'm here. Anyway, so I don't know if tonight's audio is going to work or not, but I think we've fixed the issue. We reformatted our computer, amongst other things, because it was kind of last resort, do or die situation. Granted, I have a backup video editor on my platform now. I'm not just going strictly solo with one that I absolutely like and I believe in, even though nerdy rant, I had a conversation with my friend Richie, and he was like, well, you should really go with a backup, and I was like, you know what, you are so right. So I told him that I was going to try one last shot, and if it didn't work, give or take, I was going to essentially bite the bullet and go back to something I knew. I don't know about you, but I like learning new things. So for me, I kind of like to venture into different video editing programs. I've played with the cheapest of the cheap. I've played with the most expensive of the expensive, but I've also played with freeware as of recently, or just open source software, because it's kind of amazing where we've come to at this point in time, where for about $50 you can get a really awesome product that edits really beautifully, but at the same time has its own little glitches. Anyway, I rant on a whole other subject that I could continue on for a day and a half. There is no time-lapse Tuesday tonight, and that has to do mostly with the fact that I've not been the world's greatest feeling-wise, and on top of that, add to it the video editing software issues and conundrum, and then finally and ultimately getting new paper in the mail, which is beautiful and luxurious. It's watercolor paper, if you're curious. I'm kind of in awe because it's nice and like, ooh, soft and textured. I'll show you guys. I don't think you guys care, but I'll show you guys anyway. But essentially, like, I can't concentrate into, it would feel so velvety and smooth. Okay, hold on, we're gonna have to move the microphone. I just unearthed it from the container. Oh, it feels so sexy. I don't know if paper could feel sexy, but I imagine this is what sexy paper feels like. Up close you can see that it has some ridges, and then this is the smoother. This is the texture side if you're into texture, or if you like smooth. This is the smooth, or at least that's what I go with. It feels like, I don't know, like beautiful soft velvet, if that makes any sense. Anyway, it'll be kind of interesting. I've never really played with watercolor paper. I do a lot of watercoloring, but I never play with watercolor paper. How funny and ironic. I just kind of paint on whatever paper I have, even if it's not the appropriate paper. That's just me personally. Don't go by what I do. But I decided to kind of splurge and get some watercolor paper in the size of portrait. And now I can't concentrate to actually do the time-lapse tonight, or rather, haven't had the time to do the time-lapse tonight. So I thought, since most of you guys who watch this channel didn't participate on Twitter for the survey, we would do kind of a survey tonight of who you want to see me draw next. There's a choice between Tyrion, Arya, and Daenerys. Most people are leaning towards Tyrion. I love Tyrion, and Peter Dinklage is absolutely one of my favorites. In fact, we're going to be talking about him tomorrow. Anyway, I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to let you know what's going on about that, but he's kind of in the lead, especially on Instagram. I kind of posted the picture of the survey. Most people just responded down below. I've been counting those votes as well. Most people are leaning towards Tyrion, so if you kind of want to sit there and skew the voting system and make it so that Daenerys gets drawn next, or even Arya if you're an Arya fan, I will leave the poll somewhere over here. Definitely vote and help decide who should I draw next Tuesday. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully this audio worked. If it did, you're watching this, obviously. If you miss Time-Lapse Tuesday and you really want to see me draw something, definitely check out my 31 Days of Horror, especially if you're an American Horror Story fan. I will leave a link down below and somewhere over here. And subscribe if you're new, if you're into drawing and music and that kind of thing. If not, no worries. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys are doing awesome. Bye!
Whatever it is that you believe you're seeing, it's not real.
Seeing things before they happen. Things are not always what they seem in this place. So you can't take anything for granted.